All right, earlier this year, we heard concerns from the water and agriculture community about the drought situation in Southwest Idaho, the continuing drought situation, because this isn't just a one-off. Last year, tough for ag operations in our area. Drought, heat, really impacting water resources a significant degree. Some of those operations in the agriculture industry had to shut down their irrigation weeks before, months in some cases before they'd planned. Conditions got too tough. Predictions for this year, they weren't much better, especially when we had such a dry spring in March that wasn't so good. But then we got our hopes up when we hit May and June. Circling back to those early season predictions here on August 1st, Joe Paris talked with water managers in Southwest Idaho about the good, the bad, and the ugly, and maybe the not so ugly so far.
In early 2022, there were major concerns about drought and water conditions in Southwest Idaho. After a brutal 2021, there was fear of a repeat.
We definitely avoided the worst case scenario. We had an awful snowpack on April 1st across the state. But then we had incredibly cool temperatures for basically April, May, and June.
David Hokema is a hydrologist with the Idaho Department of Water Resources. He says the nice cool weather in the spring, especially at higher elevations, really made a huge difference for the summer months. Cooler temps protected the snow runoff from depleting early in the season.
Those really cool temperatures slowed down the melt, and with the precip coming in and that cool weather, we're losing our low elevation snowpack, but building some high elevation snowpack. So overall, the snowpack was somewhat stable.
Things look a lot better as of now.
Ryan Hedrick monitors the water and drought situation for the Bureau of Reclamation. They too had major concerns coming into the year, especially after 2021 conditions.
Biggest concern was we weren't going to fill the system. But with that late spring, that wet late spring, things turned around for us and we were able to fill all the reservoirs.
One major factor that the agriculture community follows closely is the amount of irrigation water that is available for their operations. If water resources are low, agriculture seasons get cut down, costing Idahoans valuable business. There were fears that irrigation supply would run out in the hot summer months, but now the situation looks more promising.
It looked like they were talking about shutting down earlier at the start of the year with the low water, with an average water. It depends on what the irrigation districts want to do, but I could see them going into late September and then maybe shutting off around there.
Water levels at reservoirs in the Boise Basin also look better than expected. Lucky Peak sits at 99% full, Anderson Ranch 90%, and Arrow Rock 36%. The Boise River system is at 77% capacity as a whole.
We always have to be careful, but it looks like we're going to have a good carryover high in the system, which is what we're going for, and it sets us up for next year, but it never keeps us out of the danger zone.
The developments have also pushed Southwest Idaho out of drought classification.
In fact, in the Boise Basin, we're no longer in a drought category. Our category is drier than normal. And even then, we're just barely on the edge of drier than normal.
Portions of central and southeast Idaho are seeing really challenging conditions, with extreme drought in some spots. The major difference from east to west, weather patterns to start the year.
A lot of it had to do with the really cool temperatures. If we hadn't had those cool temperatures, even with the precip coming in, we would not have recovered from drought. Those temperatures were the key to slowing everything down and allowing the reservoir system to fill.
So sometimes you need a little bit of luck. It sounds like we got it this year.
Yeah, last year we missed it, and this year we got it.
So it is dry out there. So what does all of this mean? Well, we're going to keep our eye on it. The hope, though, is that in Southwest Idaho, agriculture operations are able to finish the season strong, and then they can start planning ahead to next year. What next year looks like is up in the air, but they're hoping that the reserves and the reservoirs here in Southwest Idaho are enough to really push them into a good spot for 2023. Other places, though, across Idaho, really in the south and the east of Idaho, there are some problem spots that we are going to be looking at. But I do want to mention something else while we're talking about all all this stuff with Lucky Peak and water levels. The seasonal drawdown for Lucky Peak, it actually begins on August 14th, so coming up in about 2 weeks. The U.S. Army Corps of Engineers and the Bureau of Reclamation, they said back on Friday they're going to start lowering the pool of Lucky Peak Reservoir over a 2-week period. So starting on August 14th, we're going to see the reservoir there drop 1 to 3 feet a day. So if you're boating up there, if you're planning on being up there, Brian, be aware, coming up on August 14th, water levels start to go down big time.
We don't want to see another boat stuck to the shore at Lucky Peak Reservoir this year.
No, we don't.
All right, thank you very much, Joe.